Greetings, sending awesome, warm, positive vibrations. This is Body Culinary, and we're in the kitchen this morning. I wanted to come on before I head off into my classes. So, just woke up like this. Happy, blessed Sunday. Today we're in the kitchen, and today we have Chiplin or Chiplin. And this is the green or the herb that we're working with this morning. So I'm here, I'm cleaning it or picking it. These are the leaves of the Chiplin. They have a really, really earthy kind of scent to them. And yeah, it's considered the cousin to spinach. And it is very, very high in iron. So this is what we're going to be adding in today with our greens. So it's time for relaxation and to spend some time, some loving time and energy with the foods that we're going to put into our body that are going to become part of our brain, our reproductive organs, our hair, our skin, right? This comes from somebody that was a junk food junkie that had a face full of acne, scarring, and hyperpigmentation. So that was not fun at all, and it took a while to clear up. So with cleaning the Chiplin, it has a lot of stems on it, which would get caught in your mouth, and that's not too pleasant an experience. So we're taking the time to pick the leaves off. So it's relaxing, right? And maybe perhaps you can do this with some of your greens when you come home from the market. I went to the market yesterday. Of course, you want to go to the market and get from local farmers. Always want to support local farmers and supplement the things that we have in our little Afro flower homestead in our little garden. So this is Chiplin, and I got some information for you on Chiplin. So it's called Chiplin, also Chiplin. Let's see if we can pronounce the Latin name for it. So Crotalaria longistratum. That's the Latin term for Chiplin. It's also called chipple and chepel. It's you can find in the regions of southern Mexico, Mexican cuisine, also in Central America, very, very popular in Guatemala, right? So this would be the Chiplin. I see one individual is selling seeds for it, but this would be an example of what we'll call this an indigenous food or a local food, which I think is very important to know how to identify the local foods. Why? Because they are less expensive. Some people might even consider them weeds. So this is grown without pesticides. It grows easier, and it's good to know what herbs or plants are native to your area, because they're going to be easy to grow. You'll get them fresher, right? You'll be more likely to be able to find the seeds if you want to add them to your garden. So we're using the Chiplin. So again, Chiplin is actually considered an essential vegetable, and actually it's been considered one of 16 of the most important species of edible leaves around the world. So who knew that? Chiplin, right? And that's because of the high calcium content, very high in iron. Niacin has a lot of vitamin C, let's say riboflavin, niacin, iron, and then also quite a bit of protein, right? So it's being sprouted coming from a legume, actually. It has a very, very short shelf life, right? So I find a lot of the foods I prefer that give me the biggest benefit in my body, they don't have a big shelf life. They don't have a long shelf life. So I have a tendency to not want to eat the things that are going to sit on a shelf indefinitely for years, because those kind of preservatives, I find they have a certain kind of behavior inside of the body. So this is considered the cousin to spinach and popular in Mesoamerican societies. It's used in soups. It's mixed in corn tamales. Some people use it with eggs. Has a very earthy and sour kind of flavor. Yeah, the biggest things that stand out to me would be the vitamin C, the iron, the fiber. Not so much, it has fiber, but most of the iron and the vitamin C and the protein, right? Which you can find in greens, right? There is protein in different varying amounts in all fruits and vegetables. But out of the plant kingdom, you can get a lot of it out of your, in terms of produce, out of your greens. In the US, this would be considered a weed. Australia, I think years ago, banned it. I don't know why. But let's look at some of the numbers, right? So a serving size of 1 ounce. 1 ounce is not a lot at all. So I like to use, in a lot of my classes, and for myself personally, I like to use a digital scale more so than a cup, because you get, this is a whole one big bunch. But you can see once you pick the leaf off, because I don't want to eat the stem, I could pack this in. So I like to use, this leaf is not good. I like to use a scale because I'm like a food scientist, right? So in a serving size of 1 ounce, which would be the same thing as 28 grams, 17.9 calories, right? 1 ounce can actually fill up a good amount on your plate. Only 3 grams of carbs in terms of macronutrients, fiber 1 gram, protein 1 gram, vitamin C 35% in just 1 ounce. That's a lot. Calcium 59.9 milligrams. That's in 1 ounce, right? Iron 0.9 milligrams, which is 12% of the daily recommended requirement. That's a lot. So 100 grams, which I think would be quite a lot, but 100 grams is approximately 4 ounces. So it'll give me 63 calories. So it's not very calorically dense, yet it's very nutritionally dense. That'll give me 7.5 grams of carbs. So if we consider the fiber, it's not high in carbs. 0.6 milligrams of fat, and that would be a polyunsaturated fat, right? It wouldn't be a mono fat, and it wouldn't be, definitely not a saturated fat, right? Which would be artery clogging. And 6.9 grams of protein. That's a good amount of protein for a green, right? And 4 grams of fiber in just 100 grams, right? So that's actually pretty good on nutrition profile. One of the main things that really stands out to me is the iron, right? Because I hear so many women saying that they feel cold. I know I have only a partial thyroidectomy many years ago. So the thyroid is responsible for your body's metabolism, your body temperature, right? Your internal thermostat. There's so many functions, especially, and many people don't give the organs any props, but the organs, I know we're concerned about the muscles and the skin aesthetically, yet the organs are producing the hormones that you need for life processes to take place. So think about it. Just come with me here for a moment. Just consider, if you consider, what do you need your body to be able to do for you? How do you need it to be able to perform? And if you can press pause for a second on the aesthetics, think of perhaps how your organs are functioning. How do you know they're functioning optimally? I would say what I've observed is we don't go to get our organs checked until we're having pain or until we're getting symptoms, right? So one of the beautiful things I love about whole, fresh living foods is that I feel confident that I can't eat any better than food with the integrity of the nutrients as intact as possible. For you, those of you that are new here, welcome. I'm Kwasapeacefull Eating, aka Body-Culinary, professional chef, personal trainer, natural born woman. Shout out to you, whatever your expression is. And on this channel, I share some of my journey of radical self-acceptance. And right now we're picking Chiplin or Chipple. My journey of radical self-acceptance. What does that look like? For me, that looks like being creative and being really appreciative of the features that I have been divinely assigned while here in my human suit. Right? I like to take a lot off the table so that I prioritize what is important, what's going to give me the most fulfillment, right? While I have a human suit, which is we will not have forever. Right? I think about a lot, what do I need my body to do for me? So I ask you, what do you need your body to do for you? So I also share on this channel my 3 leverage lifestyle practices. And when I say leverage because a leverage activity is going to give you back so much more for the investment of your time, your energy, your focus, your attention, right? So my food, when I choose living foods, I'm getting back so much more. Like every meal is medicine. Think about that, every meal. right? And it's been like that for years. So that's what cleared up my skin. Now, many of us can't imagine that because many of us can't imagine, eating healthy foods, even if it's not cooked like every day, all day, which is not bad or wrong, right? It's a journey. So you'll find your way along the journey, balancing out your palate and your taste with the urgency of perhaps the need to make significant deposits into the 401k of your body. Again, are you in crisis? Are you unhealthily overweight? Are you experiencing depression? Any number of things of health challenges. Or maybe you just have very, very low energy. So, our lifestyle, there's so much a significant amount of results can be changed from your lifestyle, period. Though it's consistent deposits over time that give us the best results. Not once in a while, even if your cleansing kit is expensive. How can you negate all the anti-nutrients and all the recreational eating that we're doing? I don't think there's enough exercise in the world to make up for unhealthful eating or eating things that are full of calories but are very absent of nutrition. And it's very easy to do that. Hey, Wellness Warrior. Hey, Noble Onya. How are you? Greetings. Send me warm, positive vibrations. So before we go into classes today, I thought I would come on, right? Because I find this very, very relaxing. And I often think more people would eat healthier and enjoy a healthier lifestyle if they had community. And it occurs to me, this just feels very natural to me. Whenever folks come over, they come into my kitchen, into my garden, and to me, it's just like play. So if I come over right now to your house with my double Dutch rope and I bring a delicious live cake or a live strawberry shortcake or something, it'd be a no-brainer. There would be no resistance. We would just be having fun and enjoying ourselves. So I think that we deserve to feel comfortable in our own hair and skin. And this is a very enjoyable lifestyle. If I did not enjoy it, I can tell you right now, as someone that likes to eat and that was also raised observing and being immersed in an eating style, an eating pattern of self-soothing with food. I don't think that makes us bad people. However, if we look at our results and our energy level, a lot of our recreational habits are depleting our health. Now, if this is not you, then that's okay. But 70% of the American population, and that's conservative, how do we get to 70%? 70% is unhealthily overweight, right? So that doesn't mean that we can't have curves. I think we're not making the distinction because many of us are reacting to being teased and ridiculed for our aesthetics, right? And if we're not the classical beauty, if we're not following along, what the standard is. Though, if we were to sit back and think, right, I'm glad you see more athletes that are bigger sizes and voluptuous. There's quite a few women that I'm extremely inspired by. Some of them are considered technically obese, right? So your weight or having additional weight or not being the typical size, that doesn't mean you don't have value. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Some of that is kept alive by popular culture. Some of that is kept alive by women, right? And just the way that we've been groomed and conditioned. Some is kept alive by men, grooming and conditioning. A lot of it's habitual. We copy and we follow as a species. We really do. I'm humbled by it. So it really takes something to be intention, to be self-reflective, right? Rather than just going along with everything everybody else is doing, right? If you want everybody else's results, then do what everybody else is doing. Yeah, so good morning. So what results do you want? What results do you need? Are you unapologetic about creating and investing in support for yourself? I know I have been. That's a habit. For years, from a young woman, I figured out personal trainers, coaches, mentors. I remember one of my first mentors that I approached her after reading an article in Essence magazine about mentors. And I was like, I want a mentor. And I wrote, as professional as I could in my early 20s, I wrote a letter to this vice president at this corporation I was working at. And I asked if I could have a meeting with her. And she said yes. So that's something that I figured out. right? I've always been someone willing to sweep a floor, invest my money, whatever, because somehow I understood that I would be getting, I would be shortening my learning curve with it. There's something that I'm not aware of. Maybe I wasn't raised with certain things, but I knew I wanted access to information and to different conversations, right? It doesn't make my family bad or wrong, but I wanted something different. So I'm very creative and unapologetic about creating support for myself. Hint, hint. I recommend my other flowers out there that you do so as well. You know, so I've had numerous apprentices. Some of them, many of them paid for, some of them not, but I also paid with my time and my energy. So that's over 3 decades, right, of insight. And I find I got more. I got a lot of things that are invaluable lessons from being immersed inside herbs and women's wisdom and wisdom from my godfather and so on. So anyway, let me know what kinds of beautiful, healthy foods are you going to be preparing for yourself today. Whole and fresh foods. How much of your food is whole and is fresh, right? With what I like to call living water. I love the distinction of living water. Raw vegan is not enough. And by the way, I don't give two hootie patoots what you're eating. I care more so how you're treating me, right? Because I've eaten so many different ways of eating and quote unquote diets and regimens in over 30 something years. So I was willing to self experiment. There are a lot of things though that were undeniable because of my results with my skin. So at this point, nobody could ever tell me that what I eat has nothing to do with my skin because I've seen it. I've seen what makes the difference. And for me, it was whole, fresh living, unprocessed foods and daily vigorous movement. Daily sweating, daily. And it's leverage activity has given me back so much more for the investment of my time and my focus and my attention. I'm still riding the benefits of investments I've made years ago from fitness, right? And so I'm very intentional. Things could still happen, but I'm intentional about wanting to really enjoy my time in my human suit and relax. Even when I had lots of acne, I just wanted to be able, it was challenging mentally, but I wanted to be able to be relaxed in my own hair and skin because it's the hair and skin that I've got. I don't have Valerie June hair. I love Valerie June's hair, but it's not my hair. This is what I have, and I'm very intentional about enjoying my time in it. If I was bigger and curvier, been a little chunky, but I want to enjoy myself at all the phases of life because even with living foods, we are all going to age and all exit our human suit. Now, I'm definitely not one for being complacent on my numbers. Why? Big reason is simply because the sufferation is just, it's not worth it. I'm very intentional. I knew from a young age, I used to go get my grandma's insulin from the refrigerator, and I don't like needles, and I'm not interested in having to inject myself daily, right? I can think of family members now. Some can't travel and be away from their medication. That's not bad or wrong, but only you can decide what do you want the quality of your life to be. Do you want to be alive longer? As research says, we're living longer, but you're not mobile. You can't run, jump, kick, feel confident in your skin. You can't make sharp decisions because you're irritated and annoyed because your blood sugar is all over the place. So, what's the quality of your life while you're here? So, this is what our chipil is looking like. Chiplin. So, this is one of the greens that we're picking today. So, to me, this is not a drag. This is relaxing, right? And I'm known to, when people come to visit, to invite them right into the kitchen, onto the garden. Get your hands dirty, to relax. And this to me is quality time. It's quality time, and it feels so much. I feel more relaxed. I don't feel triggered. Actually, I would say if you're going to be triggered, you might as well be triggered in a positive sense. I find the garden in a simple, Doesn't mean we don't luxuriate. A simple garden lifestyle, it triggers you. Where your mind is on fire, irritation, worry, fright, and fear from being on these on the internet. I find that the garden and natural foods, they trigger you in another kind of way. They trigger relaxation, and your mind gets to calm down. So maybe I could consider this a type of yoga. So this is what we're up to this morning. And these are what the stems are looking like from the chiplin. So again, the Latin name for it, see if you can say the Latin name. The Latin name is Crotalaria longirostrata. That's the Latin name for chiplin or Chiplin. Right, and again, it's found in Mesoamerican cuisine, southern Mexico, Guatemala is very, very popular. Right, so you can see these are more baby greens. Some people mix them with eggs and sopa or soup, and corn tamales and the corn masa. So it's very high in iron. Some people, it's interesting. Some herbs, some plants are really considered kind of like a purgative, right? I don't find this to be a purgative, though many people, they're eating so much dried starch and processed foods that when you go to eat living greens, you think it's a laxative, but just your body's responding to the living water, to the fiber. So some things can give you, quote unquote, give you movement and stimulate peristalsis because of the nutrition, the fiber. Also, the good bacteria in your gut loves fiber. So if you're eating whole, fresh, living foods every day, it's like it takes a lot. Just like with the hair, it takes a lot off the table. It's a lot I don't have to think about anymore. So I can move on and put my focus on other things that are just as important. So I got a good amount of greens. I can see it's only a couple that weren't so fresh. This chiplin has a very short shelf life, right? And if I didn't mention again, for 100 grams, which is only 4 ounces. So you would know that by only using the cups. And inside class, we have coaching every morning. By the way, we meet 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a workout and coaching every morning. So it's a coaching motivational element, as well as a movement practice, which incorporates cardio, flexibility, and strength right from your house. So the time that you would have spent traveling to and from the gym, you get your vigorous, joyous movement practice in, and you're up early enough to make healthy food for yourself. Right. So this is a lifestyle. Right. So I really appreciate the early mornings. And then on Sundays, we do group coaching at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you, if you haven't seen the flyer, there's going to be a full day immersion retreat. Right. It's called the Cocoon, which is something I used to do on this channel. But I find it very challenging to navigate who and what is where. So it's a sacred space. So I say go into the cocoon and bloom. Just time to focus on yourself. It's going to be a full day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. all day. It's fitness several times. We're going over stress eating, emotional eating. We're going to be making raw vegan cakes workshop. We're going to be looking at and exploring appropriate portions for you. How much fuel does your body need? Corrective exercise. Maximizing your gym space. So the flyer is inside of the community section. So that's a full day retreat. At this point, it is for women only because we'll be dealing with matters of the womb. So in Body-Culinary Academy, there will be co-ed things, but my focus primarily right now is those with a uterus, naturally mammary glands that breastfeed, and so on, a uterus. So that is the focus. So there's lots of other information on this channel. Everyone's body can benefit, whatever label you want to call yourself or however you identify, from whole, fresh living, unprocessed foods. This is for your blood sugar. This is for your brain. This is so you don't have type 3, up to type 3 diabetes, which is an extension of type 2. Lifestyle type 3 is dementia. So all of this excess blood sugar from all this recreational eating it's taking its toll, and it actually ages us, right? 20, 30 extra pounds. It can make us very matronly. It's taxing on the organs. It's taxing on the skin. A lot of, again, I don't tell grown folks what to do. That is not my position. I offer, I hold space for transformation, which is my favorite thing, provide education and guidance. But ultimately, your food and your hair, your life is your choice and your responsibility. So it doesn't make us good or bad, though you'll have to live with the choices that you're making. And so you either pay up front or we pay on the end, right? And it's no fun to be scrambling for your health when health is cumulative as well as dis-ease is cumulative. So here is our chiplin, right? And we've got several things sprouting. I'm over here. The sun is up now. Sun is coming up. So we're about to go get into the garden. So cocoon is on September 30th. September 30th. So the early bird is over, but there's still space for those that would like to register. So there's African dance and sculpt. There's fitness all day. There's living foods. It's really a whole nother level of answering all of your questions. It's coming together with community. There'll be a lot of meditation and relaxation. So it's all day. So hopefully folks can set the one day aside. It's from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a goal being to come away with many things that you can tweak and really create a lifestyle. So you can incorporate your fitness, your beautiful food, and your garden as a lifestyle. Come get all your questions answered. And for those of you that want to do something right away, there's a 7-day nutritional reset. So that is all whole, fresh, living foods. There's maybe two or three things where you can use a dehydrator, or if you have something set up for the outside, because I've done that as well, depending on the climate that you're in. So if you want to dry things like tomatoes or the several things, you just have to have the whole setup. If you want to sun dry some things for food preservation. So there's also the vegan survival guide, right, and preparedness. That's on the website. Raw Vegan Cakes Workshop is on the website. Healthy Eating for Men is on the website. And Whole Living Foods in the Hood, which has shopping lists, right? So you can see with pictures, you can see what I've been eating, and then it's Whole Living Foods in the Hood with menus to fit your budget. So if you want to get your mind right first, because having a big enough why and to see the possibility, that's where you start, and then you have your hands-on education. So if you come and spend time, that's how you can shorten your learning curve and get reinforced support to make the transition to a lifestyle. So it's not a diet. Finding the appropriate amount of fuel that you need for your car is not a diet. That's not too much. It's not too little. So depending on if that is keto or carnivore or vegan or raw vegan, whatever approach, they can all quote unquote work. So it depends on what you want and what you're trying to achieve with your body. So there's so much information out there. It's easy to have information overload. So I'm sharing my over 30-something years of experience inside of the cocoon. So I hope to see you there. Coaching today is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Workout tomorrow is at 5 a.m. So that's what we're up to, right? My grandma used to say, stay busy and you stay out of trouble. All right, so I'm going to, I don't know what I want to make yet with the chiplin. This is very, very tender. So I'm deciding right now what dish I'm going to make, and perhaps I'll share it on the Body-Culinary Instagram, and maybe perhaps inside of the community section. So have you tried chiplin before? Any of my Mexican homies out there, or my Mesoamerican homies, have you tried chiplin? Let me know what fresh whole living foods are you preparing today. And this is healthy food for your skin. Your organs is affecting your skin. Largest eliminative organ is the skin, and your exercise, your daily movement practice is helping you to circulate all of that nutrition around to your cells, right? And to also go back up here towards your scalp. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Create a great day on purpose, and I will see you soon. Like, comment respectfully, and subscribe. See you soon.